Stopping hazing is serious business on a university campus. In fact, a lot of schools have an anti-hazing specialist, including Texas State.
Typically, hazing presents itself over time. It's rarely something that I've seen just happen in just a recent one-time incident.
Public universities report on-campus crime. It's the law. So why did our campus report a big jump in crime?
Students drive home some ideas to help improve campus parking. And later,
We'll take you for a ride at a popular local park.
Hey San Marcos, if you think this food looks good, you should come try it yourself. Stick around and I'll tell you all about it.
the Bobcat soccer season is underway. That means it's also time for Boco's Army to get to work.
And we know it's 100 degrees just a couple weeks ago, but it's time to lace up some skates.
Hello and welcome to Bobcat Bulletin. I'm Danny Cardenas.
And I'm Tate Gustafson. Most universities have serious policies to prevent hazing on and off campus.
That includes Texas State, which had events last month to mark Hazing Prevention Week. Reporter Jairus Jones talks with an expert about it.
I'm Bob Dodolski. I serve as the Associate Director for Student Involvement Engagement and oversee fraternity and sorority life here at Texas State. National Hazing Prevention Week is actually something that is recognized throughout the nation, always hosted the last week of September. Our community here for fraternities and sororities typically hosts a week-long recognition of National Hazing Prevention Week through both interactive programming as well as some keynote presentations and other ways for us to bring the issue to the table. And typically, hazing presents itself over time. It's rarely something that I've seen just happen in just a recent one-time incident. Typically, the culture of an organization will begin with usually an activity that's somewhat benign, usually pretty low risk, and then throughout the period of time, it grows to something that it's not supposed to be and becomes more dangerous. Even when you're at a position of leadership, sometimes it's hard to hold your friends accountable for behaviors that are just not appropriate. And so helping them learn not to be bystanders to allow things to happen, but actually intervene and make sure they protect the people in the organization and the organization itself from any harm.
Texas State reported a big increase in a few crimes in an annual report, while others went down. The information comes from a report the university issues every year about crimes on and off campus. The latest data is from 2022. Rape doubled from the year earlier, aggravated assaults are 2/3 higher, and there are 6 hate crimes in 2022, compared to the 2 the year before. Robberies and car thefts are down from 2021, and liquor and drug arrests are also down. You can find the report on the Compliance Office website.
Are you struggling to find a parking spot on campus? Parking is a problem for lots of students and staff, especially if you drive to campus every day. Reporter Isabella Connery learned why Texas State doesn't plan to expand parking anytime soon.
Hi, my name is Isabella Connery, and Prince Johnson and I conducted an investigation into the parking here at Texas State.
In January of this year, the University Star spoke to Dr. Kelly Danfus, who addressed student parking accessibility. He said that in order to build parking garages, he would have to raise tuition and parking fees to offset the $40 million it takes to build each one. We spoke to Texas State student Emily Carrion about her thoughts on parking. According to the University Star, there are 5,000 faculty members and 38,000 students with only 16,000 parking spots at Texas State, 20 of which are in lots that are restricted to students between the hours of 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. We asked how this made her feel.
That makes me feel frustrated, just like so frustrated that students at Texas State that do everything they should to be here, can't find a parking spot.
Texas State offers a shuttle service which helps with the lack of parking, but students want the freedom to park close to their classes and use their personal vehicles. Waiting for buses and walking long distances from where we're dropped off wastes valuable time in our busy lives. Parking circumstances lack easy accessibility to classes, with LBJ being a 28-minute walk from the biggest lot on campus near Bobcat Stadium, for example. We asked student May Baylog what the university could do to improve the parking situation. Here's what she said.
Texas State could make less red parking spots and convert them to purple or even green or gold or literally any other parking spot beside red.
The influx of over 11,000 new students this year requires more faculty, complicating the parking issue further. For Bobcat Bulletin, I'm Isabella Connery.
The Comal County Fair in New Braunfels has been around for a long time.
Yeah, all the way back to the late 1800s. As Mackenzie Miller shows us, some longtime traditions are still around.
We're here at the 130th Comal County Fair here in New Braunfels, Texas. Let's go see what this annual event has in store.
The fairgrounds are filled with attractions like a Ferris wheel and thrilling rides, so we of course had to slide in to all of the fun. Classic carnival games are offered at just about every corner, but the excitement doesn't end there. Traditional fair food provided by local vendors is available to purchase throughout various stations on the grounds. There are plenty of exciting things to experience for people of all ages at the Comal County Fair. Though it's not all funnel cakes and Ferris wheels. Executive Board Member and Director of Marketing, Courtney Allison, shares how Comal County Fair is fighting back against the decline in agricultural involvement.
The Kid Education Committee, we hold school tours on Wednesday and Thursday. The kids get to come and play with the baby chicks. They get to do the baby barnyard. They get to learn all about plants to the table and how their food gets on their table for them.
The fair partners with the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Program to put on various agriculture-enriched activities for the community. We were able to speak with County Extension Agent Jason Mangold about the program and the importance of ag.
We strive to get that education about agriculture to the younger generation because there is a disconnect. We bring in some hands-on activities for the kids to learn about gardening, learn about the life cycle of chickens. We brought in aquaponics this year. We have food and family and health, and we talk a little bit about healthy living snacks.
For more information on how to attend or volunteer, visit comalcountyfair.org.
Every fall, the county hosts this fun 4-day event. Be sure not to miss out on next year's festivities. For Bobcat Bulletin, I'm Mackenzie Miller.
Another tradition from the fair, the annual Fair Queen Contest. The 2023 pageant court winners were just crowned. Addison Wiley as Princess, Elisa Campbell as Duchess, and pictured in the middle, Haley Mabe as Queen. Congratulations, ladies. You were the stars of the fair.
Speaking of stars, we all got quite the show at midday Saturday, an annular eclipse where the moon blocked out most of the sun. Reporter Brandon Stafford did some stargazing for us.
Although annual solar eclipses aren't an uncommon occurrence, to see one with your own eyes is a very rare and special occasion. I spent the day in Austin, Texas to get a good front row seat of the eclipse along with many other Austin locals. I had the pleasure of speaking with Austin locals David Kobdish and Andrea Salafia about their experience with the eclipse.
Stellar for me, honestly a dream come true. I love astronomy, so it's probably the highlight of my year, to be honest.
I think the light is cool. It's like, it's not dark, but it's a filter.
Yeah.
The solar eclipse will cross North, Central, and South America. It will be visible in parts of the United States and Mexico, as well as many other countries in South and Central America. One thing to remember about the eclipse is that it is never safe to look directly at the sun without specialized solar viewing glasses. Although annual solar eclipses aren't a rarity, they sure are something that is truly amazing thing to experience firsthand. By visiting nasa.gov, you can be kept up to date with any other occurrences like the annual eclipse or learn more about the past eclipses that have taken place for years. And with that, I'm Brandon Stafford. Back to you.
Hey Tate, are you hungry?
Danny, I'm always hungry.
Well, that's good because reporter Sydney Trayan has our reservation for a new southern food spot here in San Marcos.
Hey San Marcos residents, there's a new local in town and its name is Joe. Local Joe's to be exact. And if that's not exciting enough for you, it offers a daily rotating menu that features their award-winning skinless fried chicken. We talked to Joe for more information.
I'm Local Joe. This is my 6th of restaurants of my own. First one in Texas based. I chose San Marcos because I wanted to be close to my grandkids. Got a new town, new state, new home, new business. I don't know anybody here. I did fall in love with the community after I started taking a deeper look and looking around, looking for restaurant locations. Local Joe specializes in Southern comfort food, so that can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. I was raised on Southern cooking. It has sentimental connection to me. It brings back memories of, a younger time. Just kind of want to bring some of that back. When I change my menu daily, I'm offering a rotating menu, It enables people to eat here 3 or 4 times a week. The community, when they come in, they're like, oh, it's like Luby's. Oh, it's like a cafeteria. And it is. In Tennessee, we call this type of restaurant a meat and 3. You come in, you make a plate. You pick your meat, you pick your 3 sides, you get your cornbread. It's very popular in Tennessee. Here, people love it. They're just not used to it. So we're trying to establish ourselves in the community as being a place that you can go find a comfort food, a nice meal like that, a sit-down meal. And then, of course, we offer sweet tea. I'm surprised more restaurants don't offer sweet tea. They offer unsweetened tea. I mean, Texas is about as south as you can get. One of the things that we do here is a mission for our company, for Local Joe's. Our mission is to honor God through loving people and serving quality food, and to bring glory to Him through that hospitality. So that's our mission statement.
Don't be afraid to come grab a bite to eat. The restaurant is located on West Hopkins Street across the street from HEB. Come on down and eat local, be social here at Local Joe's. For Bobcat Bulletin, I'm Sydney Trahan.
Man, that looks really good.
It does look really good. I need to work off some calories after I ate there, though.
Well, reporter Joe Curtin may have a solution for you. He wheeled us on over to Hopkins Street to the San Marcos Skate Park.
For college students across the country, skating is a great way to get out, be active, and not spend a lot of money. The San Marcos Skate Park is an ideal meeting place for local skaters to master their craft while meeting new people. But thanks to a record heat Texas faced last summer, going outside even for a minute posed quite the challenge. I got a chance to talk to Jamie Lee Case, the director of the San Marcos Parks and Recreation Department, about how the weather affected local skate park activities.
So as far as the skaters, I mean, they're a really active community, obviously. Some modified their skate schedules to go early in the morning, so our park hours are 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So specifically with skate park, you know, they would be out there after dark. Some did brave the heat and they were out there, you know, during the thick of it, and skaters are going to skate. People have their passions, and so they're not going to let weather, you know, kind of get them down. So they were still out there.
As passionate as skaters can be, many regulars of the park voiced how much of an effect the heat had on not only their skating routines, but also their mental health.
I mean, there was definitely times where I would come out here and like start skating, and then it'd be like, it's like one of those things where you skate for 5 minutes and then you go take a drink of water and like just sit there and die on the concrete, and then you get up and then you skate again.
Like, I think being physically active is really important for me, because if I don't like get outside, then I just sit inside and like watch stupid television shows. So being stuck and not being able to do anything, like it's not even just roller skating, like I wasn't able to do anything. Like I couldn't sit outside and like have a little picnic or something because it was so hot.
When it comes to combating the weather, most skaters I talk to believe the park could be doing a lot more to make the heat a little more manageable.
I think it'd be cool if they had like some sort of like covering over it, because like you'll see with like the benches, like they have a kind of covering, but it's not really like, it's not like an umbrella. It's like an umbrella with holes in it, you know. It's like it's just like boards.
I think we could have cold water. The water fountain over there is warm water. Like, it doesn't matter like what time of day it is. It's gonna be warm, so having access to cold water would be nice.
While the Parks Department understands these issues, finding room in their budget to accommodate the park remains an issue. Regardless, the department is determined to help as much as they can.
You know, funding is always an obstacle, and so, you know, adding additional water fountains in parks that may not have them right now is kind of our focus. You know, just kind of going around systematically to parks to make sure that, you know, we're able to provide water facilities and those kinds of things for folks that may be out there. But beyond that, I mean, not really changing a whole lot as far as our operations that we are accustomed to doing.
With Bobcat Bulletin, I'm Joe Curtin.
Joe and Jacob Farhat got some really nice video on that story. That Bobcat football come-from-behind win was pretty epic last weekend.
It was. 2 scores in 4 minutes, but there are a bunch of other sports performing well around the campus these days.
The Bobcat soccer team kicks off a good start to the season. And if you're going to do battle on the field, you'll need an army.
Texas State Soccer has one, and later,
we like bust each other's chops, we give each other stuff, we insult each other, throw jabs at each other, you know, just guys being friends and stuff like that. It's fun.
Bobcat rugby plays rough, but safe.
And what's the most interesting sports team at Texas State? Chill. We'll show you in a minute.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact. More than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
We've got baseball playoffs, basketball season starting, soccer, and football.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. KTSW Sports Director Paxton Graff is here to catch us up on all of it.
Thanks, guys. The Texas State football team is off to a phenomenal start. So far, they are 5-2, and they are 1 win away from clinching bowl eligibility. First time since joining the FBS level in 2013. Now, if you want to catch this historic Bobcat football team, come on down next Saturday, October 28th, as they host the Troy Trojans on homecoming night. Now, the Bobcats football team isn't the only phenomenal team this season. The Bobcats women's soccer team is deep into the season. They're bringing a winning record into the last few games, hoping to get into the Sun Belt Conference tournament. Reporter David Castaneda called the game for us when the Cats hosted conference foe Coastal Carolina.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are just under an hour away from kickoff here at the Bobcat Soccer Complex. Texas State, who is 6-4-2, coming in to take on Coastal Carolina, who is 3-7-1. For Texas State, the defense has been looking stellar. Only 2 goals allowed in the last 6 games. And although coming off a 1-0 loss to Georgia State, they look forward to getting things back on track. That was an away game. They are at home tonight. Meanwhile, on the other side, Coastal Carolina coming off 2 losses in a row. 10 goals allowed in the last 6 games. Their defense trying to figure things out tonight. For Texas State, the offense isn't looking too hot either. Only 5th in the Sun Belt in goals scored at 20 up to this point of the season. Meanwhile, for the series, we're tied up at 3-3 all time. Coastal Carolina looking forward to come into town, into San Marcos, and get their season back on track with the 3rd win of their season. The Bobcats coming back home and trying to keep them on the hot start. It should be a good one here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I will be on the coverage.
Let's get out here and make some noise for your Texas State Bobcats.
Following tough opponents such as TCU, A&M, and U of H, Texas State soccer and Coach Holman offensive pressure proved to be too much for Coastal Carolina, as Texas State was able to knock in 4 goals throughout the game, with 3 of them coming in the second half, one of the most impressive showings for Texas State this year. Wrapping things up here in Bobcat Soccer Complex, as the Bobcats will secure their 7th win of the year. For Coastal Carolina, will drop their record down to 3-8-1, 0-4-1, as they still look for that first interconference win. And for the Bobcats, explosive win, 4-0. Very little offense from Coastal Carolina and a ton of offense from the Bobcats. Defense looking amazing. 4 goals on the game. Victoria Meza came up with 1. Maddie Goss came up with 1. Olivia Wright, for the first time in the season, notches 2 goals in 1 game. For Caitlin Draper, she records another clean sheet with 2 saves. Easy day for her in the office. But yeah, I mean, the Bobcats, 7th win of the season. Impressive display of offense and defense. I've been your reporter, David Castaneda, with Bobcat Bulletin.
And when there's a home soccer game, the players aren't the only ones you can count on to take the field. I spent some time this past week with the best fans a team could ever hope for, Boco's Army. We're here at the Bobcat Soccer Complex, located next to the University Rec Center. Now, you've probably never heard of this complex, let alone the team that plays on it. But there's one passionate fan base here tonight that can tell you anything and everything you need to know about this historic Bobcat soccer team. That is Boco's Army. Boco's Army, who's often seen banging drums and throwing powder after a big goal, are some of the biggest supporters of Texas State's soccer team. The Bobcat Soccer Complex is a modestly sized stadium with a small set of bleachers, and when Boco's Army arrives, the stadium looks much more alive.
You see, the main goal is just get out here, have some fun, encourage the fans to get on their feet, to get loud for our soccer team. This year so far, they've been doing fantastic, and it feels fantastic to be out here to go ahead and put that energy into the game.
Once I got to know some of the girls, they came to my daughter's games and noticed how everybody had snacks, you know, at halftime and at the end of the game, and they were like, wow, we miss those days. And so I was like, all right, we're going to get involved. Snacks was really the first thing that we did, and we've been doing that for 17 years. But at the end of the game, we give snacks to the players. This is the third year we've done Boco's Army.
Boco's Army provides support for a team that normally would get overlooked by the more popular sports, such as football or baseball. The students that attend these games create a great atmosphere at the Bobcat Soccer Complex, and an atmosphere that otherwise would not be the same without them. They make the Bobcat Soccer Complex look like the hottest place on campus on any given night.
I mean, they support what we do, they value what we do. They ask us if we're coming, you know, so we really do feel like we're giving them some team spirit, but also like, you know, the drum, they can hear it. You can hear it across the field. You can hear the chants, you can hear the yells, you know, and that sort of thing. So I think it gives them a little bit more energy.
The Bobcats' next home game will be Thursday, October 19th, right here at 7 p.m. And you can bet that Elizabeth Darnell and the rest of Boco's Army will be here bright and early to support this Bobcat soccer team. As we mentioned, Texas State is also home to a bunch of club sport teams. And one of those sports has a reputation for being pretty rough, rugby. But as reporter Jack Gerard found out, they take safety pretty seriously.
The Texas State rugby team is a club that not many students know about, whether if it's due to not being an official Texas State sports team or simply rugby itself, as it is a lesser-known sport in America. The Texas State Renegades is a club offered to all students at Texas State, so I went down to one of their practices to see what the team is all about. I spoke to one player, Daniel Robledo, who was a rookie on the team, to see what he thinks about the sport and the team aspect.
Everyone's pretty cool. We like bust each other's chops, we give each other stuff, we insult each other, throw jabs at each other, you know, just guys being friends and stuff like that. It's fun.
A unique thing about rugby is that no players wear any padding or protection besides mouth guards, unlike its more popular counterpart, American football. According to most of the players that I spoke to, such as Tony Cooper, the captain of the team, says rugby is actually the safer of the two sports.
It's actually safer than football. You get more concussions in football than you do in rugby, because here in rugby, we're actually going to work on it today. We train you to make a safe tackle and how to hit, because you have to hit from torso and below. Because anything else, you're going to hurt yourself or the other person. And in football, you have pads, so the coaches train you to go in there and hit the heck out of them, hit them as hard as you can. But rugby, it's like make a clean form tackle, roll out, and get ready again.
The Renegades are not sanctioned by the Texas State Athletic Department, so funding can be a big challenge for the team. Head coach Dustin Carter speaks about how the team is able to fund itself.
Minimal funding from the school. We do get to use the Bobcat symbol and things like that. But for the most part, we are self-funded. We have an extensive alumni network. Many of those guys donate monthly to our Rugby Alumni Foundation, which funds things like tackle shields, ball bags, new balls and tees, and trips to El Paso or Texas A&M or wherever we're going. But mostly we're self-reliant. We raise all that money ourselves for the most part, and it can be a challenge for sure. So if anyone is out there looking to feel a little generous, the Texas State Rugby will not turn you down.
If you are interested in joining or donating to the team, reach out to their official Instagram at Texas State Rugby. The team meets 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. For more information, visit their website, texasstaterugby.com. This has been Jack Gerard with the Bobcat Bulletin. Now back to the studio.
Hey, you guys got to go out and cover another club sport team this week. Why don't y'all introduce this one?
Thanks, Paxton. We're off to something of a renaissance here for sports, and not just for football, but for the clubs too.
We found out this year that a number of club sports teams are taking their seasons really seriously. One of those is Texas State Ice Hockey, looking to make a comeback.
The Bobcats are out for redemption this year, not just on the field, but on the ice as well. After a disaster season last year, the Texas State Ice Hockey team failed to win a single game within their division. We talked to hockey president Ben Nehama about some of the challenges that kept the Bobcats away from success.
It was just really rough. Our president that was elected, he abruptly had to leave. He got injured on the ice, so I had to take over his role. It was just something I had to pick up, and we just had a really short roster, I think. By the end of the season, we had 8 players total, and that's including a goalie. That's not even enough to make 2 full lines on the ice.
Ahead of the 2023 season, the team refused to go another year of losses by completely revamping the organization by doubling the roster and adding new faces to the coaching staff. The new head coach, Barry Cummings, previously worked with the San Antonio Junior Rampage High School team, who finished last year with a perfect season and a championship win. We asked Coach Cummings just how he plans to elevate the Bobcats to the same level of success.
Well, first of all, we obviously brought in some new faces, new players. So I think there's 13 total new players that were here from last year. And really just, we got to change the atmosphere. I mean, for these guys, it was a tough season, obviously, not winning one game. We come out, we win our first 2 games. And so, the guys' morale was definitely lifted by that. We just got to work really, really hard. I mean, we're going to have to fight. Every game's going to be a fight for us. And success isn't always spelt out in wins. Success is spelt out in heart and character. But these guys got tremendous hearts, and we're going to continue to get better all the time.
With new faces and a new mindset, the Bobcats went from straight losses to starting the season with back-to-back wins. You can follow the Bobcats and be a part of the community on the ice by visiting txstatehockey.com.
It's something that we want to bring every Texas State student to. It's a fantastic sport. If you haven't watched it yet, it's something that I need to get you to a game. Come sit down, come watch Texas State play.
What a turnaround this year for hockey.
Right? They're already better than last year. Go check out their website and get into some games. And thanks for joining us for the latest episode of Bobcat Bulletin for the fall semester.
We'll see you next week with more news from Texas State and beyond.